Hello, you guys. Thanks for checking me out. I've always wanted to do this video. This is something that holds dear to me. In 2011, in September, I had an awesome dream slash vision, but I will call it a dream. I had a dream that I had left my body, and I was taken to a planet. And how I knew it was a planet, because it looked totally different from here. But in my dream, my eyes like opened up, and the only way I can describe it is it's like I'm picturing my body levitated and just shooting off, and I ended up on this planet. The name of the planet I cannot tell you. I will describe it to you the best that I can as far as what I was seeing, but with my spiritual eyes open in my dream, I was standing there, and I was facing a beautiful ocean in front of me, and the ocean looked dark looking, silhouette with sparkles, I guess illuminating from it's like the ocean had its own light to it. It was sparkly light. That's the only way I can describe it, because it's not like, it's not like it was reflecting off the sun or anything. I didn't see a sun, but in the distance to my right, when I looked up, I remember seeing two planets, and I remember seeing a planet with a ring around it, and I remember seeing another planet that wasn't that far from it. So basically, I saw in the distance two planets to my right, okay, in the distance, like one here and one here to my right. And I also remember seeing stars, more stars in the heavenly realm that I see now. And the place was beautiful. It looked like the place was dark, but it had its own light, and sort of like it had more like an evening look to it, sort of like how you would think of seeing the moonlight, illuminating it, but I didn't see a moon. Anyway, to get back to the point, I remember facing this ocean in my view in the front, and the water looked dark looking, but it was sparkling. And also what I noticed, the water wasn't moving; it was still. That I do remember. The water was not moving. I don't even recall a wind blowing. And I remember seeing these big old rocks of crystals everywhere, just crystals. It's kind of like the place was sort of, what I was standing on, it was like a rock too, but it was a crystal. But also, as I looked around the landscape, it looked rocky, but they were crystals. The crystals they wasn't like clear glass looking crystals. These crystals had a, guys, when I had this, I didn't write it down, but it stood out to me, and I'm going to tell you why at the end why it stood out to me. But these crystals looked dark, bluish looking, maybe because of the setting of the way I was seeing it. But they had like a beautiful, I wish I had something that could describe it. It's kind of like if you imagine ice, but imagine ice having a bluish look to it, maybe an aqua blue, maybe a blue like this, but it's clear. That's what the crystal looks like. Hold on 1 minute, you guys. You guys, you know what? The Lord is so good. A few minutes ago, I was seeing this beautiful light, the reflection of the ceiling light, and the camera was picking it up, and as the light was coming down, it looked kind of purplish looking. But if you can imagine imagine it looking sort of bluish, white looking. That's how the place looked. But I'm gonna see if I can get the. I'm gonna see with the camera pick it up. Hold on. You see that right there? Right here? You see that? That's pretty much what I was seeing in the atmosphere. But imagine it looking sort of like this and sort of, well, the crystals looked sort of like this, but sort of bluish looking. But I remember seeing this color in the atmosphere too. And that's beautiful. That is beautiful. But anyway, I'm just trying to, get you guys to see what I was seeing, But anyway, come back, little mama, come back. Hold on, you guys, I'm sorry. All right, you guys, sorry. I was trying to find something that resembled how the crystals look. But actually, we do have crystals around here on our earth that are beautiful and blue. I don't know the name of them, but I got this toothbrush, and it's sort of blue, and it's clear looking. But this is the only way I can describe how the crystals look. And if you can imagine how this looked right here, that's how they looked it. See how this look? How you can kind of see clear. This is not a crystal, you guys. This is a toothbrush, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of what I was seeing. Okay. Let me get to the story real quick. I'm trying to make it short so I don't have to do a part two. But anyway. All right. From what I was seeing in my view, the sky was illuminating with two colors. I think it was like a emerald green slash this color right here I was telling you about right here. Purplish looking, violet. It was just coming down. It was just beautiful. And that was illuminating, the space that I was in. Okay. When I was facing forward, I noticed movement in the water. And all of a sudden, this being had came out the water. I saw it from the head. And it was walking towards me. And you can see, I was seeing it like, rising up out of the water. And it was moving towards me. And the being looked at like it was a crystal. You know how like Transformers look? Well, imagine a rock looking being walking towards you looking like that. I mean, it didn't have like a regular face. It was just illuminated, and it was light on the inside of it that was coming from it, but it was just illuminated with light. But it had a rock looking. I mean, that's how I was comprehending it. It had a rock looking feature to it, and it was walking towards me, and it was speaking to me telepathy, and it was telling me, to come in the water, to meet it at the water, to follow it. And I didn't want to because, I can't swim, you guys, That's one of my fears I got to overcome, the water. I love water, but I can't swim. Anyway, so it knew what I was feeling and thinking, and so it walked up to me and it touched my hand, and I do remember feeling like, if it felt hard, I do remember that. And I remember touching my hand, and all of a sudden the fear went away, and I follow it, and I follow it by walking into the water. And I can't tell you what the water felt like. I don't remember all of that. What I remember is the fear left me, and I followed it to the water, and I'm thinking to myself, why are we going into the water for? We going to go swimming or something, But anyway, I followed to the water, and we went into the water. And we were just gliding deeper and deeper below the water, below the ocean, I guess. That's what I want to say. And all of a sudden, he was taking me. He was the one that was guiding. I was with him, but he was the one that was guiding. But as we went deeper and deeper into the water, and we were moving forward, all of a sudden, before me, it's like the water started in the distance ahead. The water started to lighten up, and cause it was dark underneath, but all of a sudden it just lit up on the inside. And as we moved forward, I was seeing like a crystal city underneath the water. You guys, it was just beautiful. It's like a rock city, a rock paradise city up on the water. For some reason, I do not remember all of this, all of this dream. I guess it was meant for me to remember certain things. But I would love to be hypnotized, just to really know, what is it all that I was seeing. Okay. But what I do remember is the closer we move forward, the city illuminated, and it was just beautiful. And it also, I can't tell you the color of it, but it illuminated, and it was made of crystals too. It was a crystal city up under the water, and I remember. Okay, I don't remember coming up out of the water. As far as let me think. My last memory, okay. I remember moving towards the city, and it's got bigger and bigger and bigger the closer I got. And then I was seeing other beings up under there, and they looked at crystal like also. Okay, my dream went from that to me being outside of the water again, standing right where I was, and the being was beside me, and he was talking to me telepathy, and he was saying, "I know you've been longing for another child." And I was looking at it thinking, how did it know? How did it know when I want another child? At the time I was like 14. I'm like, how did it, And it was saying to me telepathy, you're going to have another child. And I started smiling, and I remember crying, feeling this feeling of crying in my dream because I felt emotional. And for some reason, I believed it. I believed it. It's I'm going to have another child, and I believed it. And actually, you guys, the reason I did cry because a couple of, I would say maybe a year before, I had got pregnant and I had a miscarriage, and it did something to me. I mean, and I don't know. I'm saying a year from there, but it might have been a year and a half. I had a miscarriage, and my baby didn't make it. It didn't have a heartbeat. But anyway, but it knew that I had wanted another child, and that's the main reason I had felt emotional. But anyway, I just lit up, and I was letting it know. I was grateful for giving me that message. After that, I don't remember anything else. I woke up that morning, and I remember writing it down on the calendar. That I had that experience. I didn't write my experience down about the dream. They said it's good to do that, but at the time I wasn't thinking like that. This was 2011 in September. I wasn't thinking about writing my dream down. But the reason the dream stood out to me is because I found out I found out in November that I was pregnant. I found out in November that I was pregnant, and which was with my daughter, and I had her in August of 2012. And I didn't tell nobody about the dream. I kept it to myself. I mean, some things, you guys, you don't want to tell people. People think you're crazy, and I don't think everybody think you're crazy. But some things, it's good to just keep to yourself to see, is it going to come to pass, especially when it's dealing with you. If you ever have a dream dealing with somebody else, if you feel the need, you want to tell them, go ahead and tell them. But this was something that was dealing with me, and I didn't know if I was hallucinating or what. That's really why I didn't make a big deal about it. But it stood out to me because, I found out I was pregnant in November, and it just blew me away. Because it's been times that I wanted to have a child, and if it wasn't me having a miscarriage, I had issues like fibroids, and when you have fibroids, they can keep a woman from having a child also. So ladies, if you want to have a child, get that checked out. Make sure if you keep trying to get pregnant, get checked out and make sure you don't have fibroids, because that could be the reason. But I want to keep this dream short. I just want to share this with you guys. Keep the faith. I love you in Christ, and yeah.